3-0 down to a pub side. 3-0 down.
So should we die then?
Wake up! It smells like fucking coffee.
Where's the coffee?
Wake up! It's time for a change now. If you have a milk, if your milk goes stale, what do you do with it? You throw it out. You don't put it back in the fridge, do you? Right, exactly. And I think it's time for a change. Kenny, what do you make of today, mate? I was bored.
No, it's that's what happens when you got players who don't play together that often. You're going to get like a very lopsided performance. You're going to get seppied, and you're going to get situations where players are not motivated. You know, like players like your Giroux and Walcotts, and even Wilshere today. They should really be pushing for first team places because the team, contrary to what people think, the team on Sunday hasn't picked itself. Everyone knows that if we play that form, not so much the formation, but the personnel that we play against Everton. On Sunday we're going to get mullered because at the end of the day you've got too many attacking players. You've got players like Ozil, and you've got Sanchez, you've got Ramsey, you've got Xhaka, and I think with Man City as well. Man City are a very high pressing team, and what they do is that they press teams from all over the park. So what they're going to do is they're going to see Alexis Sanchez, and they're going to see Alexis Sanchez, and they're going to see Granit Xhaka as weak links. Because what will happen is that Granit Xhaka is very slow on the ball, very good passer, but he gets caught out in possession. So what will happen is that when he gets caught out in possession, City are going to launch attacks. And you've got the same thing with Alexis Sanchez. As we know, Alexis Sanchez is playing a lot deeper now. He's not playing that last third. So if he loses the ball, which he's going to do because he's going to try too much, City have got players who are not only going to break up the play, but they attack at pace. They sort of attack at pace. So you've got players like Sane, you've got Sterling, great pace. De Bruyne's finding his runners. He may even play Jesus or Aguero. What's going to happen is that they're all attacking in numbers and pace, and that's where City are going to do us. Not so much starting from the back is when we lose the ball, and that's where we're going to lose the ball. So they could take the game from us in the first half an hour, and that's why one of those players can't play.
One of the things about today's game, I found drifting in and out of my sleep watching it. Yeah. One of the good things I noticed was Macy's performance. I thought it was quite encouraging. He made some good saves.
Yeah, he had quite a lot to do, but again, it's because we were pushing up. You know, a lot of the saves were quite regulation, especially like the first one. You'd expect Macy to make that save, and then there was the smart header as well. Again, it's saves you expect them to make, but he looked very assured, and like I said, maybe he might have a future. I know he's going to be playing in the League Cup when we play against West Ham, so that is a plus point. But other players, again, they really need to take their chances because, like I said, in about 5 or 6 months' time, Ozil and Sanchez are not going to be here. So players like Giroud, maybe Walcott, Jack got to put their hands up because, Ozil and Sanchez is not the future, and people need to accept that.
Well, now we've got Man City coming up on Sunday. You've gone into detail there. Do you think we'll pick the same team that we picked against Everton and against Swansea, or do you think it'll change it a bit?
Well, any manager worth their salt would look at Man City's strengths and weaknesses. I know Man City are very poor defensively, and they, like I said, they will ship a goal or two. But one thing about Man City is that everyone talks about their attack and their midfield. Well, what people underestimate in Man City is their press teams, their pressing ability. You saw that against Chelsea, you saw that in Italy yesterday. And what will happen is that we are very prone to give away possession. So Arsene Wenger's got to sacrifice one of his star players. Ramsey picks himself because he's been playing well, and like I said, he's a strong runner. So he's got to decide whether he's going to drop Alexis Sanchez or drop Ozil. Both of them can't play in that team. You can't have, because they're going to be passengers. So if I was Arsene Wenger, I'll pick the player that gives us a lot of industry and leave out the player that's not going to give us industry. So for this one game only, if Arsene Wenger is stupid enough to play the team against Everton, then it will be a disaster, and the game could be taken away from us in the first half an hour.
Don't you think? Because I think they'll open us up anyway. Because I don't think we're very good at the back. And don't you think in this circumstance we've got to go
Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, you don't just go toe-to-toe them. What happens is that you are going to get chances because, as I say, defensively they're not very strong, and they do leave gaps past the midfield. One thing we need to do is actually get the ball, but when we do get the ball, we're going to have to launch attacks from deep, so from a turnover, and we've got to really be very strong on the counter-attack, which means our passing has to be precise. The runs, if Lacazette's making a run, you've got to spot it quickly because he's going to be a key player. He can't just make a run and then he's got to check back.
Does Alexis now playing against a club that he wanted to join as well, and he's possibly going to join either in January or at the end of the season, would you play him on Sunday?
It's a very good question. I think if Danny Welbeck was fit, maybe Arsene Wenger would probably have said, well, I need Danny's pace and his ability to track back, and he may sacrifice Alexis Sanchez, but because Danny Welbeck is injured again, it doesn't really give Arsene a selection problem. So, in my opinion, very humble opinion, I do think that Alexis Sanchez will play. But what Arsene Wenger needs to do is tell Alexis Sanchez not to clog up the midfield, because you can't have Alexis Sanchez clogging up the play, because we need to be different. He might even have to go for a free. But if I was Arsene Wenger, I would consider playing El Neni and Coquelin in that game.
So a score prediction for Sunday.
If we play horses for courses and we ride our luck, we're capable of fluking a win, and if we can fluke it, because we've got the players to hurt them. But if we play the team against Everton, 4 or 5-0.
I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw, because I think Man City. That game last night took a lot out of them. I think that was a really hard game, and I'm going to think they might feel the strain of that. And I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. And it's now. Thank you very much, Kenny. Thank you for joining me.
No problem, mate.
And this man. I tell you now, this man is old school, from the 70s, 80s. You was probably 80s more, isn't it?
No, the first manager I had was Bertie Mee, because like I said, we used to live in Albert Park, just outside the ground. So when I was according to my mum, I was my first Arsenal game when I was 3. So Bertie Mee was our manager. But I know we've got to say something. Should we say it together? It's time to go!